So, HWRL Race League. So, this is the development of my level. As you can see, there's not much to talk about right now. I originally wanted a helicopter man level, and as you can see what I'm doing on screen right now, audio sucks. It's trying to get the center of it, because originally I wanted a reverse dropper type level, so that instead of going from top to bottom, you would have helicopter man and you'd fly upwards. Now, this didn't work for reasons you're about to see why. I tested this for a long while, but the main problem is that I just couldn't seem to quite find a good balance, because you can't like see upwards, so like it's not great. And here I accidentally reset. But yeah, so what I decided to do was just here I'm just working the idea of flying up. I wasn't a fan of how it was and how there was issues. I was still trying to make it work. There was also problems with just the general, because like theoretically a helicopter launch would still be possible, and it just didn't feel fast enough as well. It felt like a slow start, which you can see I added boosters here. So yeah, there's not much to talk about right now because like the screen sucks. Yeah, bro, by the way, this is like 5 times speed, and I'm placing these so slowly, which is kind of funny, but like, whoa. And then, did I just go AFK here? Oh no. But yeah, so here, this was my original one, by the way, like on the screen. You should have started the video, you should have said where I actually started developing my main level. This was the original idea. As you can see, I'm just trying anything to see if I can get it to work, and it just wasn't having it. So I decided to remove the right ball for now and just try and make like an obstacle course, because you can never go wrong with an obstacle course. And with Helicopter Man it would be unique because there's not been any Helicopter Man HWRL Race League levels, and I thought it'd be fun. And as you can see, here I'm just trying to build something, and here we're gonna come up to like a good point. Here we're gonna ignore the fact I tried to make something terrible. But yeah, and here I was also trying to get this to work properly, and it just wasn't. It was just being frustrating, and I didn't even do like, this is a basic start of it. This would have been a terrible level, I can't lie. But yeah, here I decided I was gonna put like a shape out of toilets, and I feel like that would have been a little bit too close to a really bad symbol. So here I had a really good idea, I think. No, I'd seen it. Here I decided to turn on hitbox apparently. No, I decided to split the boy into two, so there would be two of them and you'd have to kill 3 of them. This gave me a new idea, which you'll see soon, hopefully, if my speed eventually it'll slow down. Yeah, a bunch of this is playtesting, because you have to playtest your level, because otherwise you end up with Michael's levels, and as great as they are, they're always cheesable, and that's a joke. But yeah, here you can see I said the video slow down because we're about to get up to a good point, and this good point was during playtesting. As you can see, okay, apparently I just suck at the game. As you can see, I had it where I knocked the top guy off and the bottom guy, and I thought this would be a cool speedrun strategy to do in the level. So I tested it a bunch, and then I cried. And then I tested it a bunch. Okay, well, I tested it decently well to do this, and it felt like a good thing. And then I got too excited about this, and if you see here, I was like, wait, let me check something, and I accidentally deleted the level because I didn't save it. But here is version 2, where I used that original idea of separating the player and the what's called the magnet, and I started just working on a way for this to work, where the character and the person would be separate. And I actually had a level idea for this. It would be going to be called Chain Jumped, and although I had to restart, it was fine because I actually had a better concept, I think. And yeah, this didn't work out well as well, because like you'll see why. But yeah, here I'm just playtesting. I don't know why there's no audio for this. I think it's playing too fast. It's at 1,000 times because like this is 40 minutes long. But yeah, here as you can see, Chain Shot work in progress. We got audio back. Let's go. And then I don't know why I saved that. That was barely anything. Then yeah, here you can see not much is happening. I'm just playtesting, making sure things work, like not too well, just smoothly enough. Because I think you can't have a level be like you have no options, but you can't have a level that you have all the options, you know. But yeah, so here I'm just playtesting. I tried to get a spike where you would have to hit it with your propeller, and then when it hits the trigger, it would launch upwards into the NAND block, which is the circle. But there was issues with that, and I probably would have kept it in the main level if things didn't happen. But the problem is, it just didn't go too well. Damn, that snap was brutal. It just didn't go too well. Yeah, so here you can just see me here playtesting, because also problem with being chained down, a lot of playtesting. Problem with being chained down is that you kind of don't have many options as well, because you're forced to be onto the floor. And I tried to also have it so the character will push out, and in the end I was gonna have it so you can win by, you need the magnet down there to do something. But yeah, I didn't get that far ahead in order to 100% know, and you'll see why. Yeah, I'm just kind of just not doing much. Yeah, Wrecking Ball. Yeah, I think, oh yeah, no, here I decided to start, because instead of having it just one horizontal level, I was going to have it so you can curve a bit, because I had an idea of a swirl, and it would feel more Chain Chomp like. There was also ties in with another idea where the magnet would have been trapped fully, and you could like make it fixed and non-fixed, and it's kind of like red light, green light. But that was an idea for like years ago, and yeah, and here I just could not get this to work. It just felt a little bit clunky, awkward, and adding in a shape definitely didn't help it. But it felt empty without something there. You can't just have a bend for no reason without something to bend for. And then I think I had a table. I think this was the last thing I added before I had to restart. And the reason why I had to restart was because of Harris's Happy Wheels Racing League level. I felt like it was too similar to mine. And so I had a new idea, and this new idea is an old idea that I decided to put into work, which was just stealing some of the demo levels and mashing them up together. And as you can see, I'm doing that right now. So I'm just, it sounds really bland, but like, at this time, I was like, let me just see if this idea works, and if it works, it works. Because you need to, I wanted all of the demo levels, and there's, like, It Keeps Happening would have to be very special, and such, and I still have to, like, make the level work in a way, add a twist or something to it to make it look decent. So I just tried that, and here I decided to do It Keeps Happening first. Now why? Because why not? Yeah, at the beginning I wasn't entirely sure what the character would be, and I assumed it would either be Segway Guy or non-fixed character, because non-fixed character would make sense because it's all of them, and Segway Guy because it's 8 of the 9 levels you can play as. yeah, so here you can actually see a lot of things. I've already got GBE and Trash Track, which, you know, but I also, you can see a lot moving, because, yeah, and rope swings, of course. Rope swings was one of the easy ones, and for now I left the finishes there just so I know where they are, so I can play test. And here I was testing if the character could sit on the helicopter, because if it could, I could use this in order to make my Happy Wheels Racing League level. But if I couldn't, then I might cry, because there's nothing else Dawn of the Dead has. So yeah, and I also have to like fix it, because with Trash Track in the way, I have to change their collision status. And yeah, not much to go with that, but yeah. And here, just play testing now, because a lot of things you have to play test, especially when you're not entirely sure how they'll collide with each other. But yeah, and then here, BMX Power was one that I wasn't entirely sure, because if it would be weird. I just took the loop, and yeah, instead of taking the ending, which I normally did, this is one that I didn't, so it's different. And yeah, so for the loopy-loop, I chose BMX over the ending, because like I said earlier, I think the ending would have been a struggle, especially with Saber Guy, which has been most of my playtesting. So I decided that, and then GB ending, I would if I changed GB's ending to flow with Satan, I felt like it would be able to work. And then once I got that flowing, well, originally I was going to have Obby there, just because it would be crawling in. However, then I think it would, like I added here, it would be better if I had it with BMX and also Trash Track, which I fixed out a little bit because I needed more from the level, so I fixed it a bit. I didn't have the blocking because I still wanted some element of speedrun, and now, as you see here, now I'm just replacing all of the spots that have a token, and now a lot more playtest bits. So to start off with, I had a white blue wall. This is because on demo the walls are normally blue for the board walls, so I felt like this one would work, and yeah, I think it's fine. And this jump was just a menace. I could not do anything past it, so I had to add in another shape already, and this is why it keeps happening. It would have sucked any other way. And then yeah, and then here I'm just removing more. I need it to flow in a way that would be nice, but I also need an element of speedrun. And here I changed the ending of Satan a bit to have a filter, kinda, but also so it could actually lead into Satan. I meant GB before anyway. And yeah, and then here I need to add a wall just so that people just don't die, because like no one likes dying in it. And then yeah, and then most of this is just kind of playtesting and slight tweaks. And as you can see here, well, here I was struggling a bit with the background, because the background alternates between 4, and I needed it for Trash Track. I really want it to be white, because otherwise it would look disgusting. And although it's not my level technically, it's partly Jim's, partly the others, I still wanted it to look decent. So here I started to add a background, because I still want it, because yeah, I want it to look nice. And yeah, and then the big issue here was trying to find the correct, I say tech, the correct way for the helicopter, because I tried making it easier to be on the helicopter, and yeah, and this is gonna sound really not great, but the problem with the level kinda is that you have the helicopter, which you have to play a little bit safe on, into some menacing areas, like one of the speedrun strats, which I say speedrun, it's intentional. The unintentional way, I'm assuming no one's gonna go for, even if you go for it, which is boosters for it keeps happening for rope swings, is to eject. And then if you eject, then you need to keep your arms, and yeah, you'll see that later down the line. But here I had the triggers for the background, so it fades into white. You can't see it that much because it's speeding, But yeah, it worked. And then I had it so it would fade out as well. And a lot of this, again, is just playtesting, because you need to make sure you can beat your own level. And I also wanted, if I'm going to produce a really bad level, then it's going to be sad. And if I'm going to produce a really good level, then it's sad anyway. But you need to know your level, essentially. So you just playtest. And now I'm in the point where I'm half waffling. Yeah, here you can see that I tried to alter the helicopter a bit, maybe like make the landing a little bit better, or some way or something to make it easier to stay on it. And I could have maybe added like daggers at the end so it filters a bit, but I feel like that wasn't really needed at the end of the day, because like if you're gonna have daggers, you're speedrunning the level essentially, and I'm assuming most people should play safe for the level. And if you don't, then you cry. Yeah, and then here, that was, I believe, the first time I actually properly went across the helicopter, like, without crying. And once I'd done that, then I actually realised how much of a menace this GBE section might be. Because the flowers, you need to kind of grab onto one in order to safely make it down. If you don't grab onto one, you're kind of basically dead. Or your arms break, and you need your arms for a later section, which I haven't actually added in yet, and that section is Snowy Mountain. But the reason why I haven't added that in yet is because it just was on a different place. But anyways, here as you can see, I am just playtesting, and this playtesting is like 15 times speed. And there, as you can see, the XD, because that was basically where I was like, alright, this is a decent level. And here I'm just going through all the level, the XMLs. If you want to take these, not take them. If you want these images, yeah, I'm currently looking for this one, which is the Mount Final. And the main area I decided to take was the ending, because of all of the places, the ending is, well, this ending particularly is the one speedrunners most know, and this is the one that I need the most. And yeah, so here it's just more playtesting. This one's even faster than the previous, and you can kind of tell by the kind of like teleportation I'm assuming you might be seeing. There's not much I can talk about here, even if you saw the gameplay. So yeah, the thing is though, as soon as I had the snowbound section, I was like, I need to playtest it. I need to make sure I can get at least one run. Not that I can get one run speedrunning, which then other people can go for. And I think I'm coming up to the end of this last point. And there has been changes since. I say since, maybe small tweaks to make areas a little bit more bearable, or changes. But yeah, I think I thought there was. Let me actually just check real quick. Okay, we're coming up to where I fully locked in and stopped changing. So like I'm doing a few tweaks in some areas to make it a little bit better. But yeah, the area we're coming up to, okay, I say coming up to, it's in about 20 seconds. Yeah, here you can see me actually win, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a bit more playtesting, a bit more doing some minor, like that Satan coin is a menace, like as well. That's why I had to fix it a little bit so it just didn't annoy people too much. And yeah, so small tweaks like that before I decided to like, alright, I need to actually try my best to get a run, because if I just playtest and all that, then it might become a bad level because people might be annoyed and such. And if it's a bad level and I didn't even technically build it myself and I had to use some other type of things, then it's just going to be the most depressing level ever. But yeah, it's still, as you can see, minor tweaks like there. I got a Satan run, but I died to a coin, and not died to a coin. I didn't collect the coin in that run. So yeah, you see the game's slowed down a bit now, because here is when I decided, alright, I need to actually start trying to go for a run. Instead of playtesting, I need to go for a run, because if I go for a run, I can actually see the speedrun experience and what I would do in Happy Wheels Racing League, because yeah, I also wanted to, because it's obvious that there's some hard parts to this level, right? As you can see, beyond the thing. Yeah, so this was, I can consistently get up to this part right here that you're watching now without dying. But that was one game-ending thing that kind of brutal. We're at the very end, yet you can't go forward because of how Satan and Snow Mountain Final is positioned. But there's nothing you can do about it. Although I think I might change it a bit before uploading the level, because this is recorded before the event, of course. But to maybe change the booster settings to not be as harsh, because like, although changing it takes away from the levels, not originality, because it's not original, but it takes away from the level's origin. Sometimes it might be needed so the mashup things can work together. Which, yeah, now here I was testing this route, and as you can see, although that is technically the intended route, and I say that in air quotes, it's just no one's gonna go for it, right? Like absolutely no one, and that's so dumb from my perspective of me making the level. Like I can't, like that's probably a terrible thing to do, which is why I also added in. Not added in. That's why I've always been going for the coin jump. Now here, I didn't actually beat the level because I missed the coin for rope swings. But as you can see, I got all coins apart from one on rope swings, right there. So it's not even like unfeasible. It's just been. It's not. I can't remember what I said. It's not unreasonable. It's just the ending might have to be dropped, and this part right here, because if I keep them, because you basically have to do a rope swings jump halfway through the level, which takes about 30 seconds to get there, and there's no safe way. You can see two brutal things at once. Yeah. But as you can see, just playtested now. This is coming up to the end where I actually get a run. I'm not. I don't think it's this one because I don't have a leg. Yeah, no, I have no legs. Maybe I try. I can't remember actually. Oh no, I just skill issued off. But yeah, I'm actually ignoring the fact of Satan into Snowy Mountain. I'm actually pretty happy with how I merged these together, like how it came out, because originally this idea wasn't gonna be. I believe a while back I had an idea to do Satan first with the cogs, like it will hit you with the spoon into the cogs into a different section. It might have been more like that was brutal. It might have been more sophisticated or like more modified, but that would have came out with a cost. So that was a skill issue. But yeah, so there's not much else apart from me waffling now. Just watching. Damn, bro lost his legs. Yeah, bro. It's also a problem. If you lose your legs in Trash Track, you kind of have to reset. But you see the stompers. I don't know why I thought of doing all the endings, but I think I chose all the endings because I chose the It Keeps Happening ending, and then I also chose GB ending, and I thought it would flow well if I did that, and which you can see here. After the only one I didn't was BMX Park, because BMX Park is terrible, the ending. No way to get that with Segway unless I launched the guy over half the map, which, that's the entire size of BMX Park. So yeah. And here I'm just having the biggest skill issue ever. I remember coming up with a start buffer for this level to like easily get through it, but apparently I'm wrong. Not easily get through it, by the way. The start, so I wouldn't, to get to like second coin somewhat consistently. I think I'm doing it right there, just not an actual buffer, you know, because this is test level. But yeah, now for some reason I'm having trouble with BMX Park. It wasn't intended for Segway Guy, can't blame me. More stompers. It's great weather today. That type of conversation now. It's just watching me try and do this. I'm just gonna kind of just commenting on the gameplay. Yeah. Leg gone here. Ooh. Yeah, okay. So I think I don't die here. I do, bro. This is gonna be a terrible level, man. Satan's ending. I'm 100% have to reduce the speed or something, or maybe even remove all the boosters entirely. But this is out of the core of the level. I might playtest on the day that my level's meant to be uploaded, and if I feel like that Satan's ending can't be fixed, then I'm gonna just have to chuck it away, let's be real. Because if I can't not chuck the whole level away, by the way, just the boosters, because the boosters are currently making it too fast to survive. Although if I do remove all the boosters, there's 100% going to be a spinal stat where you skip all the Snow Mountain final. I could just picture it already, and there's not much I can do about that. Maybe just reduce all of it down to 10 or something. And for some reason my computer just tried to shut off. But yeah. Ooh, drum roll on this run. Ooh. Let's go, I got a run. And then yeah, that was basically the whole of my level creation for the level. Of course, there is probably going to be a little bit minor modifications in the future, because like currently I don't know what the level will look like, but I'm assuming that there's going to be changes, a small change to rope swings and a small change to Satan, because Satan, like I mentioned earlier, the boosters are brutal, especially watching that back now. The boosters might need to go down a lot. Yeah, and it keeps happening. There's no good way to do it without ejecting, and although the level's long, so it won't do well on ratings, and although this ain't an event designed for non-speedrunners, I'd still like people to be able to play it and beat it. Like, I don't think I want to be able to struggle on a level for me to upload, for me as the level creator and other players. I don't want it to be a level that's frustrating. But ignoring that eject, because if I don't have the eject in as the only viable method there, then what I'm assuming is going to happen is it's just not going to flow well. I think ejecting no matter what will always be faster, is basically what I'm saying. And even if I had a good way to consistently get the character to the rope swing section, like even using shapes and all, I don't think it will work well. But yeah, now you're just staring at a black screen for me waffling for a level that isn't even uploaded yet, and I have about 20 seconds for it to reach the 30-minute mark before, I don't know, Christmas happens. But yeah, that is my Happy Wheels Racing League level. I hope it's not that bad.